Child poverty is an acute human rights issue that affects children both in New Zealand and around the world. Child poverty refers and applies to children from poor families who live without basic needs. Living in poverty can mean homelessness, not having secure access to food, going to school hungry, or coming home to a cold, damp house to sleep in a shared bed. Human rights is a right which is believed to belong to every person. It is a right for the elder and the young, right for the disabled and different races. Human rights is freedom and equality. This is the reason why child poverty is a human rights concern. Every child has 12 key rights. These include education, food, a safe environment, and a fair justice system. Right now, many New Zealand children are missing out on these basic rights. Children living in poverty do not have freedom, education, nor quality food. Did you know that over 1 in 4 Kiwi kids live in poverty? That is approximately 270,000 children, enough to fill our biggest rugby stadium 5.5 times. 155,000 children are living in material hardship in New Zealand, and 85,000 children are living in severe poverty. They are both below the income poverty line. Poverty has terrible effects on children's physical health. Poor children are more likely to lack food security, as well as have diets that lack important nutrients, which can be detrimental to a child's growth. UNICEF statistics show that children in poor communities are 3 times more likely than the average child to be sick, and twice as likely to end up in hospital. Inadequate housing, crowding with other families, living in cars, etc., can also play a role in degrading a child's health. Over 40,000 New Zealand children are admitted to hospital every year because of inadequate housing. Poverty can massively impact a child's education. Poor children tend to be exposed to more stress, have lower attention and focus levels due to hunger or malnutrition, have reduced curiosity, motivation, and engagement, and have less social skills than their peers. This can impact their educational growth and lead to a lifelong pattern of underachievement. Education is a ticket out of poverty for children, and they deserve the same opportunities to learn as everyone else. There is a large amount of different organizations that help children that are living in poverty. These include Eat My Lunch, CPAG, UNICEF, Salvation Army, Kids Can, and plenty more. There are over 250,000 kids who live without the basics of life, and it's not their fault.
We don't want any children to go to school hungry or suffer from preventable illnesses.
It is important for us all to value children enough to support them.
We need to have empathy to support kids living in poverty.
We have had enough of doing nothing, and we want to change things.
There is tons of evidence on the negative effects of child poverty on children's immediate experiences as well as their future prospects. These are some recommendations for the future that could help the country overcome child poverty. Raise family incomes by increasing benefits and making the minimum wage a living wage. Establish a warrant of fitness for all rental housing and implement a collaborative food in schools program so that no child stays hungry and lives in a cold, damp house. Provide with modest to low interest and zero interest loans to help low-income families access affordable credit and effectively manage debt. Child poverty is a human rights concern that not only exists in New Zealand but continues to harm children's health and damage their futures all across the world. I hope this video will help bring awareness on this huge issue in New Zealand and help fix this problem.